and Facebook friends, citizens of America and the planet. It's Jill coming to you again from Liverpool, the meeting of the Global Greens, and I have with me another amazing special guest, Dr. Frank Habineza, who is the Green Party candidate for president in Rwanda. And he's also the founder of the Green Party of Rwanda. Actually began it with the assistance of another very famous member of the Green Party in Africa, Wangari Maathai, no longer with us, sadly, but who really began the Green movement in Africa and began the protection of trees and much more. And she actually helped Dr. Habineza get the Green Party going in Rwanda. And when many people hear Rwanda and the Green Party, it's like, how did this, in a place of civil war and genocide and effectively a dictatorship, a president who has occupied that office for a very long time. The Green Party is actually rising up in Rwanda. This is especially remarkable because this is happening in a climate of great danger and great political repression. And in fact, Dr. Habineza's running mate from several years ago was actually killed as part of this political repression. Another member of their party team has been disappeared for 2 years. So it's actually an incredible story to hear the bravery and the courage of Dr. Habineza and the Greens in Rwanda, who stood up to say that that they deserve a democracy, that they deserve a government that belongs to the people, instead of to this one dictator that has basically controlled government for more than 10 years. It's really quite incredible, and they are seen now really as the only opposition party in Rwanda. There are several parties, but they're all part of the same coalition government that has been together for many years now. So I'm just so pleased to have Dr. Habineza with us. And maybe you can just start by telling people briefly how you got involved as a Green Party member going way back.
Okay, thank you very much. I got involved in Green politics maybe officially in 2007 during the Global Young Greens Congress, the first one, which was held in Nairobi, Kenya, and in the emergence of the World Social Forum. So that was a great moment for us as young people. We met in Nairobi from all over the world, and we established this Global Young Greens movement. And I was elected as the secretary for the African Young Greens, so I became involved. And later in 2008, I went to the Global Greens Congress in Brazil, where I was also elected as one of the 3 people representing Africa in the Global Greens Coordination. So I got more motivated and more immersed into the green ideology. And as I've been a journalist in the independent media, I was much aware of the democracy issues in the country, human rights issues in the country. So we said, well, our party will be the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, the party which will come to deal with issues concerning democracy, of course, and environmental protection, but also focus more on the human rights protection, the freedoms of the media, freedom of expression, freedom of peaceful assembly. So those became our main issues. Of course, it's been a struggle. It's a long journey. We spent 4 years to be registered in 2013.
4 years in exile, is that correct?
I spent 2 years in exile. That was in Sweden. That's in 2010. It was very difficult for our party to do anything because my deputy, Andre Kagwaruseleka, had been killed brutally. Then, of course, my life was in danger, and I couldn't do anything more in Rwanda, so to go to be in Sweden. But after 2 years, I got strengthened up with support from all our Green family all over the world and our international friends. I went back and started again, and then in 2013 the party got accepted officially.
Amazing. And so you were first becoming active as a Green in 2007 at the Global Green Conference in Kenya.
The Global Young Greens Congress.
So it was the Global Young Greens
Yes,
Congress.
exactly, the first one.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that's the first one.
And that was the first Young Greens Conference, which is amazing.
Yeah.
There are Young Greens who are having a conference here at the Global Greens, and they bring a wonderful, transformative vision to the Green Party. So that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
That's where
so
you got your start.
Exactly.
And what's especially amazing is that this is 2007, following the Rwanda genocide in 94, is that right? Which in turn followed a civil war. So you have this 4 years of civil war followed by a genocide. And the genocide, which was resolved by this General Kagame, who then went on to become president, but has remained president essentially since 1994.
Yeah, in 1994 he became vice president and minister of defense. And, but of course everyone knew that was the real man behind the government. As having been the guerrilla leader of the movement, the revolutionary movement which stopped the genocide.
Which stopped the genocide.
Yeah. So in 2000, he was appointed by the parliament to be president. And then 2003, then we had the first elections. We had 7-year mandate from 2003 to 2010. So in 2010, because our party was started in 2009, so we wanted to participate in the 2010 elections, but of course we were not allowed to participate because our party was not registered by 2010. Yeah.
I see.
So,
so you weren't quite official.
No, because to be a candidate of the party has to be officially registered. So we could not. The party hadn't confirmed me, but because it was not officially registered, we could not stand in that election, and we didn't want to stand as independent candidates. We said no. We can only stand as a party, not as independent. Yeah. So then the worst came on, and then went to exile. So his mandate was supposed to end this year in 2017, because normally the Constitution says 2 mandate of 7 years. But in 2015, there came a movement which said that the president cannot go; he needs to stay. And this movement grew stronger, and they put some petitions to the parliament to change the constitution. But we saw that no, this was not a normal movement. We saw that there were some people behind it from the government. So we put a petition to the parliament saying that no, we don't accept this. This is not people, it's some people, some other people in the government who are behind it. Of course, the parliament did not listen to us. So we went to the Supreme Court. We had even trouble getting a lawyer to take on our case because we contacted 6 lawyers. 5 of them refused. And even by the first time when the Supreme Court, we could not stand. We couldn't do anything because the Supreme Court said we cannot listen to our case without a lawyer. So basically, finally we had a hearing, and we lost the case. But we did not lose the argument, because in our argument we wanted to have the term limit to be reduced from 7 years to 5 years, because we saw 7 years was already too much.
Yes.
And then we said that the term limits should be maintained to be 2 term limits.
Yes.
Because the draft at that time was to have it open, like you see in Zimbabwe, where someone could be president for life. So the final draft, which went for referendum, maintained 2 term limits and reduced it from 7 to 5 years.
Yeah.
However, they added on another clause which gave the sitting president a chance to stand again for another 7 years term and 2 more 5-year terms. So basically, we won and lost.
And basically, you are really sticking your neck out in this very violent, politically oppressive culture by challenging the sitting president or dictator, whatever you call him, challenging him in Supreme Court. But you have lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
And you managed to have support in the country. You have many eyes of the international community that are watching you right now. Do you feel safe?
Well, of course, that's a difficult question, because now we are going to presidential elections. As I said, the party has finally made a decision that we have to go into this election to challenge the sitting president, because we believe we have the support from the people. We believe that we can win this election, and we believe we can bring democracy to Rwanda. So because of that, the party 2 weeks ago confirmed me finally to be a candidate in this election. Well, my security is in the hands of the government. Sometimes I feel not safe because of the things I see. Sometimes there are persecution to my members. In the villages, they are being forced to leave the party. And sometimes you see that some of them are being summoned to government offices or being shamed in public. This is happening. So I don't feel safe because my members don't feel safe. But my security is in the hands of the government. The government is supposed to protect me. Yeah. And it's supposed to protect also my members. Yeah.
Well, we will certainly be watching and shining as much light on this as we can and cheering for you. Your election is coming up this summer, is that right?
Yeah, the election will be on 4th of August this year. So we have 3 months to go. And
because Dr. Habineza is really the only truly opposition candidate, you feel that there's a real chance, because people have had enough of this
this government,
one-party government.
Yeah.
Yes, and I imagine, are people struggling economically, for jobs, for health care?
Yes.
What is the condition of health care in Rwanda?
Well, I think that the biggest challenge people have now is concerning poverty. The biggest, the majority of the people, they are really poor. They don't have, they say, according to some figures, that about 60% of the population live below poverty line. And the poverty line, it's $1.50. They cannot have $1.50 a day. So what does it mean? That if we have 11 million people, about 8 million or 9 million people cannot have sugar. They cannot drink sugar, and that means that if you don't have $1 a day, it means you can't buy sugar, you can't buy salt, you can't buy even soap. So this is the reality on the ground. So basically, yes, there's some improvements here and there, but the majority of the people, they are still poor. And because of that, people need to have a change. People need to have better jobs. People need to have better livelihoods. We need also to have to take care of our nature. We need to make sure that we have freedom of expression, freedom of speech, that you speak what you think and you're not punished for that, respect of the human rights, and of course the media. The independent media is suffering. They don't have, most of the newspapers have closed down. They cannot publish. They don't have means to publish because there's no equitable sharing. So we, our party, we have a new, on our program, we're going to introduce like a Rwanda Media Development Fund, which is going to support the independent media to survive. So we have also going to revise the land law because we have people they cannot, now they have been forced to what we call land consolidation, where all the people in the villages have to plant one crop. Like say they have to plant corn or beans, that's all. And they have to sell that to the cooperative. They have no right even to harvest it. And then after they get some small money, then they have to go back to buy food. So we've really had food shortage and hunger in some parts of the country. So we're going to make to actually repeal the land law which is existing and land policy and replace it with a friendly policy which is going to give people a chance to have right on their land. Even we don't own land anymore. The land now, we are renting into the state. Even our ancestral land, we are renting it from the state. If in the capital, we rent it for 25 years. I see. You think you own it, but you own it for only 25 years. In the villages, 45 years or 99 years. So basically, we no longer own anything. So basically, we are going to review and repeal all those laws and place them with people's laws. So ours will be a people's government, which is considering people's interests. We'll be consulting with the people in all the processes. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you'll be effectively making land available to people again to use productively.
Yeah, exactly.
So they won't be forced to do whatever it is, cash crops or something that because the government wants crops?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so they can plant crops that they can feed their families?
Exactly.
So we're really talking about just a basic level of subsistence even.
Exactly, yeah. Because without, I mean, if you don't have right on your land, then you have nothing.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you have nothing, because that's the basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And this was given by our ancestors. They left this land to us, and now the state has taken all over it.
I see.
We have to lend it
Yes.
and pay tax to the state.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about things like water? You know, what's the situation
it's
there?
a serious one. We don't have what we call potable water, clean water.
Yes.
That one's it's a big problem. I think I don't have the proper figures, but we don't have even 20% of the population having clean water. So most of the people, they consume water from the wells, from rivers, or from there in the bushes, in the whatever, the trees, things like that. I mean, not proper water. But this piped water, even the capital where it is existing, it's not regular. We have water rationing, and sometimes even in my home in Kigali, I sometimes spend 3-4 days without water. Yeah, so you can imagine if you have a house, big house, and you spend 3 days without water.
Yes.
So it's a problem. We don't have enough water, neither electricity, and the capital. Of course, Rwanda is a small country, but with so many people, we are most populated country in Africa. So it's a big challenge. The infrastructures we have, even waste management, is a problem. We don't have a central waste management system in the capital. So it's a real challenge. There.
Wow.
So maybe they are doing something about it, but we have not seen it. So our new government will solve all those problems. Yes.
Because it will be a government that uses its resources for the people,
Exactly.
as opposed to for its own personal enrichment.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a report which came out recently from the Institute, I think, for Sustainable Development, which said that, and Trademark East Africa, they say that 5% of the population control 45% of the national resources, natural resources. So meaning that the national economy, half of it is controlled by 5%. So the remaining 95%, they have to share the 55% remain. So that shows you, this is that those people made figures, they had facts they based on to make this report. So it's for us, we believe that report because we see the reality on the ground that people, they have nothing. So there's a small group of people who have everything, and the rest of us have nothing.
Right. And do you know what the average lifespan is? You know, it just some indicator of, you know, what level people are struggling with for basic health and survival.
Yeah. Well, we for basic health and survival, well, we could say, as I said, that over 60% earn less than $1 a day. So I don't know how it is in the United States, but $1, like in my country, is about 700 francs. It cannot buy even a kilo of sugar. 1 kilo of sugar it's costing like almost $2. So basically, if you can't earn maybe $1.50 a day, that means you are not able to buy a kilo of sugar. So that's the majority of the population are like that. So it's a challenge. Yes,
and I would imagine if there's not enough resources even to buy sugar, that probably healthcare is, you know, is a luxury that most people can't even think about.
The healthcare is a challenge there because, like, we don't have enough hospitals. Our party has made a plan that we are going to construct at least one hospital in every district, and at least one reference hospital in every province, and then at least one health center in every sector, because that is lacking. We do have what they call is a mutual insurance system for people. But the services which is that insurance is providing is not good at all, because you find that the majority of the people who are under that they are supposed to pay some money to be able to access that medical care.
I see.
But the service they get is very poor, and then they don't have no access to medicine. So you find medicine is very expensive. You can't access to that insurance. And then you find that people, even to pay that money, they are struggling. So we will see how we can make that better for the people. But also improve service delivery, because it's a big challenge.
So I can see that people have a lot to be very unhappy about with their current government. So this does mean, you know, I mean, this would be why it's logical that people would want to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that makes us very confident that we shall win this election,
Yeah.
despite all the odds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're pulling for you all the way.
Yes.
And we'll have you back to give another report. We can do broadcasts by Skype, so we
Yeah.
don't have to be in the same place.
Okay.
All right, great. So
Yeah.
we'll stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
It's great talking with
Thank
you.
you very much. Yeah.
Peace out.